So in this video, I'm going to be talking about our target audience, based on some comments that I read on Short of the Week on the irrational fear of nothing. Seeing as it's such a close copy to obviously what we're going to be doing with anxiety, it just felt right to obviously focus on this film and the people watching this film, because they would more than likely watch our film as well. So people really like the concept, obviously, and they credited Paul Trillo, who was the man that actually made the film The Irrational Fear of Nothing. As you can see in the comments here, they're saying things like great concept and obviously more like that. Saying he's done a really good job. The writing that they said is really good. But also what we found was that this was how we found out that they used a snorri cam, which is actually the sort of rig that we're going to use. So we're not sure if we can obviously make this on time. We can always try it, hire out a tripod and see if we can work it like that. And it seemed quite complicated, but we've watched now a few videos on snorri cams, and I will be making a few videos on them shortly, just detailing obviously what they are and whether we would use one or not, because we are using a fig rig as of now, but obviously a snorri cam would be much more effective. Going on then to say things like that obviously, furthermore, just saying how good obviously the film was, how it perfectly composed and things like that. But I really like just how they mentioned this guy GPP here. So it says C graded footage, so obviously that's the color grading, and that is actually really good in that film, and that's something that I tried to copy when we did the test shot sequence. I don't know if you could notice that, but I really messed around with color grading and wanted to see what looked best, because you obviously want high contrast but not too high that it strikes the audience, and you've got to balance colors, and that's what I find really interesting personally. And they also detail obviously the wonderful ideas that zip around his head, and he says, "Oh, that's not even half of it." So it shows obviously the creative aspect of the creator himself, and I really like how he obviously replies to all these comments. Considering obviously it's his work, and he really takes into account what his target audience says to him, and he really cares what they say. So far, what I've gathered from this is that people that watch these films want to see good camera work, especially, and color grading and things like that. They take that in high account. So the cinematography aspect of this is really important and is a big part of the target audience that we'll be appealing to. So furthermore, it's just going on, obviously people crediting him further. I'll show screenshots of that now. They're also saying how the cameras used are actually telling the story really properly, and I think this was actually done as an advert for a camera company to show how lightweight the camera was and how it could be used on a sorry, what was it called, a snorri cam. Yeah, so obviously only a lightweight camera would be able to use that, so they would have used like a handheld Canon, sort of like what we're going to do. So it shows really the potential of the camera there. Someone said, "Amazing work, Paul, reminding me technically of God View. Love how the perspective really gets inside the protagonist's mind space." So that's something that we really want to replicate, and if someone like Rob Monday there really enjoys that sort of aspect, he would enjoy our film as well, because that's what we're aiming to do. He said it also was a technique I wanted to explore, but that film did it so well it's useless. So he's sort of saying obviously to check out that film. So that just shows how target audiences can span across different films of similar type. God View there, I haven't seen it, but he's telling us that it technically reminded of him of that, so maybe they used the snorri cam, or maybe they filmed it a certain way that reminded him of it. So that just shows target audience goes beyond just one film. It will go across contrasting films. They could be completely different things, but the technical elements in those films could attract an audience of that nature. And that's something obviously we're going to have to focus on, is the nature of how we film it. If it's technically brilliant, you're going to attract people that enjoy technically brilliant films, and they will be the ones that enjoy it the most, the ones that enjoy cinematography, color grading, editing, all those sorts of things. So next I'll go on and just through, someone said obviously something quite funny, that I think the actor is going to be the next George Clooney, or the back of George Clooney's head, obviously because you only see him once. That was quite funny. Another person detailing that the cinematography was a really good thing. So the final shot, he said, was Paul's idea, because obviously this was Paul Trillo and Ed David both made this connectively. but that shows like that sort of like what me and Greg are going to do. We've both got a creative input. We've both got creative control over what we want to make. And we've got loads of ideas for different shots we want to try, but it's trying to narrow it down to a shot list is really difficult. Yet again, that's another person that really enjoys cinematography, which shows how it's sort of how cinematography is related to target audience. Someone also talked about the narrative and how they enjoyed it from that perspective. Yet again, that's cinematography, but they're also enjoying the narrative itself. It's not all about the cinematography. Furthermore, there's just people obviously saying about the color grading again. And it's graded in After Effects using Magic Bullet, which is another, I think it's a plugin actually for After Effects, which is obviously showing how, furthermore, like I've already said about 3 million times, color grading and cinematography is definitely a part of target audience. If a film's shot well, people will have an appreciation for that, and that is that if you make a film like that, that is the audience you're going for. It's like people that enjoy sort of colour grading, editing techniques, and well-shot films and cinematography. You can aim for that sort of target audience. Someone else at the bottom said, more of a criticism more than anything. I don't really know what to think of this. I was quite confused, to be honest with you. I'm in the process of procrastinating right now, and it feels really good to say that publicly. Well, I guess this publicly, open to the public at least. Well, the people in public who have access to Vimeo. Anyways, I don't know what I'm saying, but I enjoyed the point of view concept. Not sure what I think about the themes. So there, you can see there's a difference. People, if you're aiming towards a target audience, people can enjoy the point of view shots and the snorri cam, but then they can be put off by a narrative and themes that they don't really enjoy. So this film wasn't aimed at Chris here, because that probably wouldn't have been their target audience. They want to, appeal to mental health. It's about mental health issues and anxiety, this film. So that's not something he enjoys. So he isn't a part of that target audience. And that one comment there really shows the difference between, obviously, target audiences. Someone that doesn't enjoy mental issues and that sort of theme of film, but they have an appreciation for cinematography. But everyone else has an appreciation for both, it seems. So that shows a difference in target audience there. Anyway, I've rambled on enough about target audience just for the irrational fear of nothing. I will look at some other comments from other short films just to sort of sum this up a bit more for you. So yeah, thank you for watching.